I'm not sure where I'm going to start with this video, but I just feel like this video is necessary. I don't have a massive following, but I know I do have a lot of engagement. And I just feel like I would do myself and my community a disservice if I come on here and film another video like normal, like nothing's happening, or I don't really touch on this subject, just because it's very dear to my heart. And I just feel like it's time that I just speak up, use my platform to speak up and show up, and let you guys just know how I'm feeling, and also just like talk you guys through what you can do wherever you are to eradicate this problem. And I'm pretty sure you already know what I'm talking about. It is all over the news, and it's about the Black Lives Matter movement, which has been going on for so many years, and you know, so many stories we hear and videos we see that we cannot unsee, and we just have to like go through that emotion. I feel like I can speak on behalf of myself and the Black community that, you know, the last 2 weeks especially has really blown everything out of proportion, and you know, it's just been a difficult time for us. And I just thought I want to come in here and speak to you guys about it, and then, you know, hopefully we can carry on in terms of me filming career advice videos, motivation and lifestyle videos for you guys. So this video is going to be about the Black Lives Matter movement, and I just really hope that you guys will hear me out in this video. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm MiraaSpeaks, for those of you who don't know. My channel is predominantly career advice, motivation and a hint of lifestyle. I also talk about, and the career advice really, about my industry, which is the governance professionals industry. If you want to know more about all of that, I do have loads and loads of videos, so I would urge you to watch those. This video today is one that, you know, I've really thought hard about, and I just feel like I just want to use my platform, to share my thoughts and just share what you can do wherever you find yourself to eradicate racism. I think race is one of those, I know race is one of those things that people just don't like talking about. It's very uncomfortable. Why it's uncomfortable, I don't know. But people need to start getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. My channel is about career advice and motivation, especially in the workplace and getting a job and getting your career. We spend a lot of time in our jobs, and as such, I feel like it's one of the main places where we can start to eradicate this system. I say system because racism is a system, it's not an event. And I really hope that as you're watching this video, you just hear me out. I'm not looking for anybody to be saying all lives matter in the comments. Please, it's not about that. It's about those who really want to listen and those who want to know what they can do wherever they are to help eradicate this system. And I know it's not going to be something that will get over tomorrow, but we have to start somewhere to change that narrative. I'm also not here to educate anybody. I'm not the face of race for the world. And I'm also not encouraging you to go and be the face of race for your company. We can't take on that responsibility. And I know it sometimes happens that way, but you're not. There are so many resources online, just you name it, everywhere, that if you want to learn more about Black history or anything to do with the Black Lives Matter, dating back 400, 500 years ago of slavery, you would find that online. Just do a Google search. I'm not here to educate anybody. It's not my place either. But one thing I want to talk about is how you can use your voice to help with this problem in the workplace. Because as I said, I do talk about career advice, and career advice is more related to the workplace and what you do when you go out there. First and foremost, I found last week that a lot of colleagues didn't know what to do when this was all over the news and stuff. And again, as I said earlier, a lot of people find it so uncomfortable talking about race. So it's one of those things that people feel like they should brush over. But I urge you, whether you're white or black or Asian watching this, to really have compassion for the black community. We are going through a lot. It's not easy. Every black person, my friends, family, people just I've talked to this week, anybody I ask, how are you doing, is emotionally drained, emotionally exhausted. And I just ask you to have compassion and to listen, to understand, and not to listen to respond. I had my own, say, madness at my workplace, where I gathered the courage to post on our work intranet, which is pretty much like a Facebook, how I was feeling. And the reason for that was because I just felt that my organisation also hadn't sent out a statement of solidarity. And when I mentioned it as well within my teams and stuff, it wasn't picked up. So it gave me some sort of, it triggered me, it triggered me to speak up. And the reception when I did was just incredible. It was basically that I was speaking on behalf of the whole organisation. People messaging me outside and on the platform saying, thank you so much for speaking up. You've really encouraged me to speak up. You've encouraged me to do this. You've encouraged me to do that. And it's interesting to think how we were so scared to speak up. Why were we scared to speak up? Why were we scared to speak up? And also, one thing I want to urge you is if you're in a company, check your leadership. Check your leadership. We need to check our leaders. We need to hold them accountable for what is right. Equality is a right. It's a basic human right. Why are we not afforded it? Like, I can't fathom that. We need to check our leadership. And you can lead from wherever you are. You can lead from the bottom up, from the top down, from the middle. And before we can eradicate this institutional racism, this system that has been created, we all have to play our part. And that being said, check your leaders. If you're in the governance profession, especially those who work for FTSE 100, FTSE 250, the FTSE 350s especially, the Parker Review requires that we do have to have one person of colour on our boards by 2021. It's called the One by 2021. Ask your leaders, what are they doing? What have they seen? For those of you who are not in listed companies and are in other companies, ask them as well, because eventually those laws will start passing down to other companies, limited or not. So we need to ask them to get ethnicity stats. Numbers don't lie. Get the targets. Ask your D&I team to come up with the numbers that make up your BAME population, and within that BAME, break it down in terms of who makes up the B, who makes up the A, and the minority ethnic, because you need to see the clear disparities in order to enable you set targets that you would achieve. So I urge you all to hold your leaders accountable. Hold them accountable. It's easier said than done, and I know as black people, speaking up in the workplace is not something that we do with ease, but it's about time. It really is about time. We can't keep quiet anymore. To be silent is to be complicit. And if you keep quiet or you don't take a stance, you are on the side of the oppressor at this point. So I encourage you all to speak up and hold your leadership accountable. Make this an issue. Raise it. Let it be on the agendas of the board. Each time. Follow up on it. What is your company doing about this? What is your company doing about this? It's just time that we have this conversation. I also urge you to speak up within your organization. Speak up and show up. It's not about just being an ally. You actually have to be anti-racist. It's now time to make this change. We can't lose another George Floyd. We cannot lose another Breonna Taylor. We cannot lose another Ahmaud Arbery. I get it, there might be Amy Coppers in your organization, but we have to break this barrier. And I say this from the bottom of my heart, guys. Like, some of these leaders just fail to see. And we have to point them in that direction. We really do. We really, really do. For us to have a stand within an organization, we need to start checking them. We need to check them so well. It's no longer enough to, it was never enough, and it's no longer enough to just to have that one token black person or Asian person or minority ethnic in a team, and it's like, oh yeah, we're diverse. You're not diverse. And even if you're diverse, are you inclusive? Inclusive is intention. We need to hold them accountable for things like that. For those of you who also say that, you know, this is a US problem and not a UK problem, I beg to differ with you. The UK has its own. It has its own. As I said earlier, I'm not going to educate you. There is so much more information out there that if you Google, you will find. Racism in the UK is very much still alive and rampant. And we have to do all we can to eradicate this system. Some leaders are out there who are willing to listen, and that's good. Find the people who are willing to listen and check them and ask them to move. We have to get comfortable having this conversation about race. People need to understand their white privilege, and they need to understand what we also have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, in the workplace, outside of the workplace, anywhere. So I really, really urge you guys to take that stand as governance professionals to see what's going on, because you actually have that power. In a sense where you would hear about the Parker Review in your team meetings. If not, ask your management. What's going on? Is anybody talking about the Parker Review? And it does say in the Parker Review that you should have 1 by 21. Yes. But let them not stop at 1. Challenge them to push and get more people on board and on management level. We need that. We need those voices to speak up for us as well. You know, we need that so well. So guys, like, I'm just like, I don't know where this video is going, but I just need you guys to just use your power and use your voices as governance professionals to make this change. It's so important for a better tomorrow. It's so important for a better workplace. Statistics do show that, you know, a diverse and inclusive team produces better results. Why wouldn't a company want that? You know, why wouldn't a company want that? Why? Everybody wants to achieve, but without the right people around the table, we are not going to achieve anything. We do need that to survive and to achieve what we need to do and to eradicate and break this system of racism. So I urge you guys to really speak up, be compassionate. I also urge you to check on your black colleagues. Right now in the community, we're not happy. We're not doing well. You can see on the news. And it's not just the Georgefloyd one. It plays, yes, it's a significant one, but it's every minute or every time where you've experienced macro aggressions, any event that has made you question your ethnicity, your identity. This thing has just allowed that to come out. That's why we're so hurt. That's why we're so tired. That's why we're exhausted. You know, that's why we're exhausted. And I really hope you guys would watch this and just learn and understand. You know, the workplaces, I believe, is one of the big places that we can start changing these things. Because in some organizations, and mine to be honest, you look and you find that all the main people are underneath here. And it's like, where are they here? You know, and because of that, we end up moving jobs, going somewhere else, and so you find that a lot of black people or minority ethnics have not stayed in a job for too long because it's like we're clamped all the time, constantly. Like you're going, you're clamped, going. It's like, no, we just can't. Like this week has just been a lot. It's just been a lot. So I just wanted to come on here and encourage you guys to really speak up and show up in your organizations as you embark on your career journeys. Wherever you are, you have a voice. Use it. And yeah, just thought I'll do that before I get filming into normal videos again for you guys. And I really hope that you'd hear me out and you know, listen as well. And listen to understand and not to respond. So before I wrap up as well, I have also created a LinkedIn page called the Black Governance Professionals Network. It's something that me and my team have been working on for a while, and we've eventually launched. So we launched, we went live 2 weeks ago and then launched this week on the 3rd of June. And it's a platform for Black governance professionals to encourage you and to create a network, to bring us together, to encourage us to have a seat at the table. We have a whole About Us section which talks about what we're doing and what our aim is. I encourage you guys to go and support the movement. And yeah, it's also open to it's open to other people, but you know, make sure that you can just fully understand what our goal is about. I know it says Black governance professionals, but it's open to anyone who supports the objective as well. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I know it hasn't been my jubbly video, but just so you know, I just didn't want to come back filming like everything's okay when I'm actually not okay. So I really hope you guys hear me out and listen, and I will see you in my next video. Take care. Bye.